So earlier on in the week over Zoom, we recorded postcard. Why am I wearing these? I never wear those.
I was actually looking, going, I don't have them. I felt left out. I was kind of
we could do that.
We could,
but we sit so close to each other.
We shouldn't.
Anyway, earlier on in the week, we recorded episode 88 of Soccer Cards United over Zoom while you were in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yep, correct.
And now you're just, I feel like I could reach out, but I don't want to. And how are you feeling, Enzo?
I have COVID for sure.
Yeah, I saw people were saying that they had COVID from the conference. And I saw,
did you?
Yeah. Somebody said, I got a lot of great gifts at VCon, no more so than the COVID that I now have contracted.
Damn.
Anyway, this is postcards.
I feel great. I actually was half tempted to tell you, hey, do you want to just do Zoom just to be precautionary? Because I did just get back from 4 different airports.
And I am going through an airport tomorrow.
So I said, yeah, but then I genuinely said I felt great. I feel great. And it would be nice to see you.
Well, you see, we haven't seen each other.
Nice to give you COVID.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Do what I can.
We haven't seen each other in about a week and a half, more maybe.
Doesn't happen often.
Since it doesn't happen often. And we won't see each other for another couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's really sad.
So if we didn't do this in person now, it would just be Zoom podcast after Zoom podcast after Zoom podcast.
And people would be very concerned.
I was worried, not so much for our audio listeners, because they stuck with us through a year of Zoom podcasts.
Ah, you're thinking that the video listeners, there's a higher standard there?
Well, they might just think, oh, I don't understand. Is this like just a Zoom thing? Whereas I want them to think like mostly they're sitting beside each other, but sometimes it's over Zoom. And that's okay.
You're saying that we launch video at a non-ideal time.
There's never an ideal time to launch video. That's what I'm learning.
That's what we found out, though.
Yeah,
took us years.
So do you want to tell us about? You mentioned you were going to mention stuff from VCon, and in the meantime, since then, you said you had a good Josh Luber story.
Yeah,
and then since then, there was rumors swirling that he had jumped or been pushed from his role as chief vision officer for Fanatics Trading Cards.
Yeah. You know, that rumor linked in with my experience of Josh Luber at the event.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they kind of tie together. If it's true.
Do you want to tell? So allegedly, now I will say
allegedly,
our favorite source in the industry, Rich Mueller at sportscollectorsdaily.com, has said
debunked
that it's not true. He said, I contacted them for comment. They strenuously denied it.
They said, no, that's our chief vision officer.
Yeah.
They don't come around. Profile. We can't find another chief vision officer. They don't exist. I went to Minneapolis, Jason, my second time in the States, to go to VCon.
That's right, yeah.
Right. I had purchased a VFriend at its floor of 1 ETH way back in the day, which is actually very important. And I'll get back to that. And I decided to go to the event, right?
Yeah.
And the interesting is you're there with people, like I bought it at 1 Ethereum, right?
Okay.
There's people who bought them at 0.5 Ethereum, which again was about $1,000 at the time. But then there was people who have bought in for 12 Ethereum, 17 Ethereum. But we were all at the same event. You know what I mean? That's similar to the
great equalizer.
Yeah, the drinking story. I was with people that bought in at 12 ETH.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of the fun things about Web3, it wasn't just like, it wasn't a Gary V conference. I didn't even talk to the guy. Didn't even try to talk to the guy.
Right.
It wasn't necessary. It was an NFT conference, definitely. But it was very much Web3 in total. It was really fun because like the celebrities that were there, I used that for Josh Luber, whereas then Snoop Dogg was there.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg was
there. But like they none of them, it didn't feel like any of them were there because they got given a really big bag and they said, I'll go because I got given a bag. Right?
Right.
If this makes sense. They were all people that more so were probably there to pump their own projects, for example. But within that, because that still sounds kind of like it's the same as getting a bag, right? But it was kind of like they were all building towards something. They all kind of knew the product that I have, the project that I have in Web3 isn't actually lit, but they understood the kind of the technology. And it felt like we were all just kind of in a room together trying to figure it out versus they were sitting there to tell us they know everything.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was a lot of like engagement with the 10,000 people in the stadium. It was like a really weird, but really like fun.
Yeah. So you felt like there was a kind of a real sense of we're all at the early stages of this industry and, we're here, we're interested, we're all ready to learn.
Yeah.
And then you go to see a panel featuring Josh Luber. And so this story now contrasts against the picture you've just painted for us.
Yeah. I had just witnessed so many different panels prior to this. And I said, I'm going to have to go to Josh Luber because of who it is and who we are. Like we do what we do.
Yeah. He's a trading card mogul. You're a trading card mogul.
Yeah. I wouldn't say more, but I'm saying I'm in the trade. I do a sports card podcast. How can I not go to the panel that Josh Luber is at? Right. And there was 2 other individuals there really interesting as well. either made toys or whatever. But I was there for Josh Luber, right?
Yeah.
All my attention was on Josh Luber. There was a huge, maybe about 1,000 people thereabouts sitting in on this specific. It was on a side stage,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
And the discussion was really interesting. But when it got to Josh Luber, he was the only person at the conference that I think wasn't having a good time.
Really?
Yeah, he just seemed downbeat. And that's why that news is like, whoa, hold on. But like if Rick Mueller denied it, he denied it. Obviously, he had just experienced a lot of flack with the backyard breaks. He was going back and forth. He was getting dragged on social media. But
yeah, his Instagram DMs with various people were getting published.
Yeah, it's like, to be honest, he was sitting there half paying attention.
Yeah.
Half bored out of his shit.
Right.
This is just, again, from my point of view. And in fairness, I was paying additional attention to him. Do you know what I mean?
You were kind of zoomed in on
exactly. So I don't even mean to be disrespectful.
Because maybe if there was other people that you sat and
I noticed shit with him, no, I
you wouldn't notice.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay. So we're being hypercritical.
Yeah, but he did have a hat on, and every now and then he was just like sitting like this, looking down. But he was listening for sure, you know.
Yeah.
And it became very clear that he was obviously someone who's, you know, in the top percentage on what he does in terms of.
Yes.
I mean, chief vision officer. There's not a lot of people.
No.
But no, do you know what I mean? Like it was almost as if he's like, I know so much about the collectibles industry that even though I'm sitting beside two collectible industry veterans, I'm not learning shit on board.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then he basically broke down supply demand. He was just like, da-da-da. And then whenever anyone else talked, he was like talking over them. So one person, he was talking about supply demand for a little bit, and then someone else was like, well, you see, nostalgia is a big driver, and he just went, that's demand. And it just looked, he was that's demand. It was like, he just seemed like a dick.
But you know what that is actually as well. And I think because of, go ahead.
Don't make me end on I think he's a dick.
Go ahead.
Right? So he seemed like a real dick. He seemed disinterested. But at the same time, I'm like, is he just so good at what he does that it's kind of more chill? He doesn't really, you know, he couldn't, I don't know. But then I'm also like, I need to watch more interviews, I think, with Josh Luber, because maybe that's just kind of his personality. He might be a bit introverted.
See what he's like on the Backyard Breaks video.
Oh, I'm not watching that one. But continue. Sorry.
I was going to say that when you were talking about, like, these other people were like, they worked for manufacturers in collectibles, you know? And like that sometimes can come up like on this show where like you and I will be talking about something and we'll just keep stripping away everything to its monetary value. So we'll say like, you know, it's the Bundesliga. So that's just like we just immediately convert everything to how it affects price.
Okay.
And I think because Josh Luber comes from, like, he's a flipper. He's basically a flipper who started a website.
He shouted out StockX as if they weren't being sued. It was very funny.
I'd like to say hello to my embattled former company, StockX. They're currently under investigation. But no, like, I think he just has that flipper mentality. Like, I think what you witnessed was a flipper on stage. Like, because we know it in sports cards.
The panel was called The History of Flipping.
Right. But there was also manufacturers there that probably didn't feel like they were in the right place.
No, it was the same, because these manufacturers talked about, they made, I think it was a Homer Simpson cyber version or something. Or no, Glow in the Dark. It was a Glow in the Dark Homer Simpson. They made 1,000 of them or something for $10 each, and then they ended up selling on eBay for $100. And they were like talking about how lit it was, how buzzing it was. It was this weird experience. And then Josh Luber came in and said, well, actually, they were saying, talking about how good that was because then they said every Simpsons figurine they made after that sold out.
Yeah.
Right. And then Josh Luber came in and was like, well, actually, Fanatics, and he just said Fanatics as if everyone knew what it was. And like, I obviously knew what it was, but like, but this was an NFT room, not a sports card room, right? So he was like, "Oh, Fanatics," as if he didn't even say Fanatics trading card company. Didn't say all that. He's like, "You know what?" He felt like the big dog, I think.
Yeah.
And Snoop Dogg was there. He was not the big dog. He wasn't there at that panel, of course.
No, but he was.
You're on the side stage. You're not the big dog.
Yeah.
How about that? And then he just started hyping up the Blind Dutch auction and explaining that to people.
Yeah. I think when he had his head down looking at his shoes, I don't think he was listening so much as waiting for his turn to talk again.
But he kept cutting people off.
Yeah, he's more like listening for gaps when they take. He's like listening when they take a breath, and then when they take a breath, he can go, let me talk now.
Honestly, I was paying extra attention to him.
Yeah,
but I genuinely thought he was like a rude individual.
Right,
to be honest. And now obviously we shit on him jokingly on the podcast
a couple of weeks ago.
But now I feel like actually like, because Stevie Aoki was grand. Bit weird with the cryogenic shit, but I vibe with it.
Yeah.
Josh Luber just...
Yeah, not good. Not good.
So there was that. VCon was great. I don't know. There was so much... Like, I would bring you to it next year if you would come. That's what I would say. People ask me. There's a few listeners there. They were asking
Yeah.
me, Jason. One of our listeners had 5 tickets, 4 of which he did not use.
Right.
And I was like, I don't think I could get him here. I said, he's not a big NFT fan. Doesn't like all the environmental business.
Yeah.
He's not a Gary Vee fan at all.
No.
Doesn't like him one bit. Here's something actually, right? I was talking to some of the locals.
Yeah.
And they were like, why did you come here from Ireland?
These are like the people that just live there and they weren't at the conference.
No. Yeah, I was mingling with it. Also,
yeah.
Before I even get into that, no one knew I don't have an accent.
We do have questions, by the way.
I don't have an accent.
Yes, you do.
Not an Irish accent.
Yes, you do.
Not a single person that I spoke to said you're Irish. On the plane home, I was sitting beside this elderly woman who was going to Prague to see her son. And at the very end of a 6-hour plane journey, she said, "Are you here for work?" And I said, "No, I live here." To Dublin.
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, I live here." And she goes, "Oh, for how long?" And I said, "No, I was born here." And she goes, "You don't have a fucking accent."
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what it is. You don't have.
Do I chameleon every accent that I'm interacting
Well,
with?
see, I think it also comes down to
because one of the listeners messaged me and said on the last episode I sounded American.
You did sound American on the last episode.
Did I?
Oh, if you listen back to that, I didn't want. I noticed it on the air.
Fuck.
And I didn't want to say it back, but you. Were
I do chameleon accents.
You were kind of like you were going like full. I was like, oh, he's using American phrases, American rhythms, American cadences.
I think I do.
You chameleon, yeah.
I chameleon accents.
But I also think, there's that, and then there's also the element of you have like a Dublin accent, which to a lot of people around the world would not be recognizable.
Okay.
Because you don't like. It's not like you talk like this, like how are you going? Like,
Stop that.
You know what I mean?
Stop that now.
So that's not like you don't have like an Irish accent.
All right. Jason.
But you definitely on the last. Did you not hear the last episode?
No, I didn't listen. I don't listen back. Listen, I know you try to cut it off at 30. This one's going to go over 30, I think. But listen, don't be looking at the time. Don't be
checking the time
because I have more shit to say.
Right, and we have questions.
Right? A lot of the locals, when I told them I was going to VCon,
oh yeah,
A, didn't know what it was, or B said, I heard that's either going to be one of the biggest events held here for a number of years because they hadn't done anything for COVID.
Yeah,
or it's going to be like a fire festival.
Right.
Did you ever hear?
I know Fire Festival.
Right? And I was like, cool. Now, for me, it was the best event I've ever been to. It was kind of crazy. But here's the thing. A lot of my friends just keep telling me this whole shit is a pyramid scheme, right?
Yeah.
And this is the problem. Because I came away from this ready to go in. I'm ready to recruit motherfuckers. So I was like, whoa, they pyramided me, right? Yeah. But and here's my question for you. I realized at the event that the majority of the people there, because when you say pyramid scheme, it's all, I'm basically asking you about the history of pyramid schemes, Jason. A lot of people at the event had what I would call fuck you money.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, my token costs 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand. But if that went to zero, it does not affect my daily life.
Yeah.
My yearly life. It doesn't affect. And then at that point, I'm like, is it a pyramid scheme? Or is it just kind of like a club? Do you know?
Yeah. Well,
because can I also say, prior to the event, the peak value of the ticket was 7,000. And I was like fucked up in the head when I hit that because I was like, I can just sell this and chill.
Yeah.
And I kept telling myself, there's no event I could go to that was worth 7,000.
Mm-hmm.
If you told me I couldn't go next year without 7 grand,
you'd pay it.
I'd pay 7 grand.
Right.
But I don't know if I've just been, you keep an eye on me, Jason.
Okay. So we'll watch out for Enzo. So that, we'll ask the listeners to keep an eye on you as well. Just
keep an eye
on the podcast.
Have I just succumbed to a pyramid scheme? Did they put Snoop Dogg in front of me and now I'm just like, right.
Yeah.
Here's my money. Daddy V.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I have an idea, but I don't know.
So, and the final thing before the
questions, yeah.
We got a gift from a listener.
Oh,
I said I want to give live on air.
That's exciting. And look, we have this wonderful camera here to capture it.
Right. That's the difference.
So for those of you listening along
the
at home,
audio listeners don't get this experience. So this came from a listener called Alex Kent.
I know Alex.
Yeah,
sure.
I know. The people don't. Maybe a lot of them do. And there's some. Oh, this is for me. So I'm going to start with mine. Pretty sure 2 is for me, 1's for you. But mine kicks off with is the year on it. It's not. It's a Dixie Dean.
Oh my god!
Do I do this? How is this going to work? Look at that lighting.
You might have to. There you go.
Right, it's a Dixie Dean cigarette card. I don't know what year it's from. It's a series of 50.
Mm-hmm.
Number 10, Dixie Dean, right? And then I'm pretty sure this is either for both of us or just for me. I can't remember. This is a Salzburg game ticket from Haaland scoring a goal in 2019 for Red Bull Salzburg.
You can have a look at that there.
Oh, the Dixie Dean.
So there's the Dixie Dean.
There is the Dixie Dean.
Right.
And here is the VIP lounge as well.
Look at that.
Right, Jason, you can have a look at that.
Let me just turn this.
So this could be, I think this is mine. Could be both of us. I can't remember. Dixie Dean's definitely mine.
Very exciting.
But I figured that's more of a studio item anyway.
Yeah.
The ticket. And then this was specifically for you, Jason. This is a
Thank you so much, Alex.
Kareem Adeyemi.
Yeah.
And this came from you talking about it on the show, the clubs that kind of have the cards that people sign.
Yes.
And there is a signature. This is a signed. You can see it there.
Oh, shit.
Kareem Adeyemi for Salzburg. So this is you. That belongs to you,
This
Jason.
is brilliant. Well, this is so nice.
How do you feel about the giant top loader?
I mean, when I got this top loader and the sleeve and everything, it just makes me realize how long this has all been going on in America.
Yes.
That they just have one of these like ready to go.
Yeah, when I walked into 3-Star Sports Cards, which was the only hobby shop I got to, a lot of people recommended me Two Bros. There was another one that I got on Twitter by the same person who told me to go to Parlor Burger. He also, and I had already been, so I got to send him a photo of I've been there. And sent me another sports card shop, and basically it was really far away. I did not manage to go to anywhere else. Alex Kem drove an hour and a half and drove me another 15 minutes to a sports card shop.
So nice.
Which I would have never been able to get to without a vehicle.
Yeah.
And he just gave us some gifts as well. So there you go, Jason.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much, Alex.
And when I walked in 3-Star Sports Cards, Jason, they even had top loaders for cigarette cards. That's how advanced they are.
My God.
They had it all. I almost brought a lot, and I said, they're actually heavy.
Yeah, you can't bring them.
I can't be buying that. But there we have it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Alex.
We are going to talk more about VCon, but I think we're good. Just tell me if I've been inundated in a pyramid scheme or in a cult.
Yeah, we will.
Thanks.
The listeners of this show, they keep us honest.
Thank God.
Now it's time for the questions. Now, last week, it was funny, but I didn't want to bring it up because I knew you get self-conscious.
But no, when I had to tell people I was Irish, I eventually wrote in my name badge Irish, and then people said you're Irish because I was like, they're not getting it. But I do a chameleon. I know that for a fact.
You're a chameleon.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
And you're not ginger either.
And my name's Enzo.
So it's really.
I'm a confusing.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to kill it. New person. Everyone was interacting with everyone. No one knew I was. And when I said it, they were like, "Oh, you came all the way from fucking Ireland for this."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah."
You were thinking this is going to be to my advantage.
Oh, it's going to be easy to make friends. And day one,
they were just like, "Oh, that guy."
I had to adapt.
Enzo, cool. Yeah.
First day and a half, and it was a 4 day. The first day and a half was not going well. I bounced back after that though.
There's actually a correction that we have to do for the show.
Oh,
that somebody sent us. I can't remember. Actually, a couple of people sent it to us about Brendan Aronson and Jesse Marsh and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Brendan Aronson didn't come through the Red Bull Academy. He came through Philadelphia Union.
He did.
And so
that's embarrassing.
Do you know what?
What Red Bull player moved though? Am I just thinking of Salzburg?
You could be thinking of Salzburg. Now, I think Paxton Aronson, Brendan's little brother, is at the New York
Caden Clark?
Red Bulls.
No, he was.
I don't know. Let's not
make more mistakes.
But
did you see Jesse Marsh's locker room?
I did.
There you go.
Gentlemen, we're the Premier League next season.
Did you see he wants to bring in Serginho Dest, and he's trying to bring a load of US.
Yeah.
What a man. What a king.
So thank you to everyone who corrected us on that.
Yeah, that's a big football.
But I was because I had a little moment where I was like reading that and I was kind of, oh God, we really. But then I had listened back to the episode, and the amount of the width of the breadth of stuff we cover on this show.
You're trying to clean it up.
I just thought I was being hard on myself, and I was like, no, we do a fine job with very few notes.
Okay, that's true.
So sorry about that. We'll try again. Don't
worry. Tell them about some Peruvian youngster, and you'll get your credits back.
Exactly. Speaking of Peru, Julian Alvarez scored 6 goals in a Copa Libertadores match against Alianza Lima from Peru last night.
I was about to say River Plate are from Peru. No. 6 goals.
6 goals. It's never happened in an official match in the history of River Plate, which is a 100-euro club.
And a 100-euro club that has dominated for most of the 100 years. 6. You got a hat-trick first half. Did you watch the goals? Did you see the highlights?
No, I only saw one of them.
The long-range effort?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his hat-trick. Only one goal was a bad goal. The keeper fucked up. He took it off and put him in the back of the net. They were top class finishes. He's obviously moving to Man City. I have a question. Is this the start of the Argentinian season?
This is
Like, we're trying to get Jason to slip up more.
This is halfway through.
Is it? Because I just felt like he hadn't played for a while. I felt like he hadn't. And Argentina are on a weird calendar. Because like he's a Man City player, but he's not going to be a Man City player until next year. Which is so...
When is he joining? He's joining in the summer.
Yeah. That's why I was just confused about the actual Argentinian setup.
Right.
But here's the thing, Jason.
Yeah.
Julian Alvarez he's young, he's banging in goals for River Plate. Like, because he scored 6 goals, congratulations, that's crazy in one game. And like they were good goals, right? But it's not like that's this stat, like he's been doing this all year. Not 6 goals, but he's been consistently scoring
for a couple of years,
bundles of goals for a couple of years. He's coming into a Man City team that has dominated the league. When you look at how good Liverpool have been, they're in the Champions League final. And they've been so good, but they still didn't win the league because of how good City have been.
Yeah.
City haven't really had a striker. Now they have Haaland and
Alvarez.
Coming
up on the questions.
But we'll get to the questions. Don't worry about the questions, Jason. But I'm saying, where do you... And probably this could be... Jason, you're allowed to answer the question early. Like, do you see... Can you see Alvarez having as big... This could be the question.
Yeah.
An impact as Haaland?
Well, I mean, I think Julian Alvarez, I kind of just think of Sergio Aguero.
It's hard not to.
Because you're talking about a young Argentinian striker
at City.
And also there's just the added visual of River Plate is white with a red stripe. I think Independiente, where Aguero came from, also red and white. So he kind of like, if you didn't know, you'd go like, oh, he played for River. Oh, no, he didn't, but it looks the same.
But like the Alvarez goal you did see.
Yeah.
And Sergio Aguero's, I think, second goal in his Man City debut, very similar goals.
I think he's closer to obviously Sergio Aguero than Haaland is. And so we have an idea. And also just like when you look at Haaland, you kind of go like, this fella's huge. And you don't really associate huge, big fellas with Pep.
No.
Like Zlatan didn't do well under Pep at all. You know?
Patrice Evra would say that's because Haaland has a personality, or Ibrahimovic had a personality.
Yeah. Toure.
Yeah, would you be surprised to see Alvarez starting games and Haaland on the bench?
But Pep, nothing would surprise me at this stage.
That's true.
But I don't know what's going to happen, but I am confused.
I'm confused. Because I think you sign one of them players. You don't sign both of them. I know if you have the opportunity to sign both of them, you do, obviously.
But isn't that one of the things with City is that they just do sign both?
That's true.
They're just gorging on talent.
I think City is a team that make enough chances for both of them to get a bunch of goals.
But
I also think City is a team where I don't see any of them playing 5 games in a row.
Yes, agreed. Look what happened with Gabriel Jesus. Seems to be a very, very good Premier League level striker. And yet only plays in fits and starts, has to play on the wing sometimes.
Yeah. But even Sterling doesn't get his... There's good players at City that don't play week in, week out. And I think, if anything, these two coming in are not adapted to the Pep way yet. So
it'll take them a long time.
It'll be frustrating. I think at the start of the season, everyone wants to see the superstars playing. Like when Aguero signs for City, everyone wants him to start the game, comes off the bench.
Yeah. I think it's also, I was reading about Jack Grealish and how...
Did you see his celebrations?
Yeah.
It's hard not to.
Too much.
Way too much for the level
of that games he played. I know. Yeah.
He was giving it all this. Like
he was with Bernardo Silva and everything. And it's like, Bernardo Silva, fine. Like, you're Bernardo Silva. But Grealish, what are you doing? It's embarrassing. Yeah.
No, but he was shitting on Bernardo Silva.
Was he?
Did you not see that?
No. I saw him with Bernardo Silva.
No, there was another part where he was locked off his head with a beer can and he said, oh, it was very funny. It was funny,
he was talking shit about Bernardo Silva.
He said something like, the only person I want to thank is Bernardo Silva for coming off because you are not on it today.
Oh, I read that. I didn't see
but he was locked.
Yeah.
Like to me, that says everything. Like if you've invested in Jack Grealish, 1, you fucked up. 2, he's not going to have a long career.
He's not serious.
No.
Not at all. But there is this thing of like it generally takes a year to get up to speed with Pep. So, and at a team like City, like, do you have a year? Like, I don't know. I suppose as long as Pep's there, you have however long he wants you to have.
Yeah. I just think it's a weird one. Like, I feel like Alvarez, Pep probably picked.
Yeah, and Haaland was like, the club, we're having him.
We're getting Haaland.
Yeah.
And Pep's kind of like, I win the league. I'm doing really well in the Champions League, even though I haven't quite won it yet. I don't want this player, and I'm going to play how I want to play.
We'll have to wait and see.
I just think it's kind of boiling over there at City. They've been doing so good for so long. They've brought in 2 superstar strikers. One who's a superstar in terms of really well known.
Yeah.
One who has every ingredient to be a superstar.
He's a continental superstar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And with all the potential to be a global superstar once he kicks it off at City. But yeah, there's trouble boiling there because I really don't think Pep took Haaland. I don't think so. Sorry, this is the Thursday show.
This is, in the description for the show it says, and whatever else Jason and Enzo want to talk about.
So we can do what we want.
We can do what we want. We have free reign.
Fuck yous.
Right, let me share this screen here. See if I can.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Now, I don't know what's going to happen once I go full screen on this. Oh, there we are. Look, fine.
Okay.
So I think this is what the camera is getting.
I don't think it is.
What do you think the camera's getting? Just this? Just postcards?
No, I have a feeling that people are just looking at us.
And they can't see the screen?
That's what I think, but I don't know.
Wow. First question, which is going to look great if you can see it, and if you can't see it.
Oh, it looks amazing. You did a great job here.
Thank you. So this is from Collecting Card on behalf. It's Jay Mary White on behalf of Collecting Card. For some reason, Collecting Card couldn't comment themselves, and he says, "Is the sticker market dead? No one seems to be chasing sticker rookies at the moment."
I've seen some Julian Alvarez stickers going for money.
Yeah,
he doesn't really have many cards, so maybe that's not a great example, or is a great example depending on where you look at it. But I mean, moving at 17 to 20 euro, but still for stickers. And that's ungraded stickers. That's a good price for stickers. Is it dead? It feels like we moved along from it.
It does. I mean, at the start, I think as well, like at the time when stickers were hot, hobby box prices weren't as high as they are now.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I think almost there was a collective decision as hobby box prices increased that everyone was like, we cannot pay for stickers because we have to almost maintain the prices of the cards. If that makes sense. Like if the difference between a base card and a sticker is not that much in terms of trying to get a base card, that's fine. You can choose whichever one you want. But as soon as the base cards start to like creep up, then the stickers, I think people just got tired of the grading companies and like PSA, that big huge gap where PSA wasn't accepting submissions, that broke a lot of the sticker momentum. And in the meantime, it became more about low numbered cards, autographs, stuff that had intrinsic value without the grade, which stickers never have. And I also think it's just a natural thing of licenses expanding and more young players having cards and not needing stickers. Yeah,
I was about to say that. Like we're moving past the point where a player has a sticker for 1 or 2 years by itself and then a card. And we've seen that when they just have one sticker and cards even the next year, like Camavinga.
Yeah.
People really care about. It's hard to love the Camavinga rookie sticker when there's a Camavinga gold frame museum autograph card.
Agreed.
It's a bit different with a rookie logo on it because they don't give a fuck.
I was looking at the Czech striker Adam Holček just confirmed to be moved to Bayer Leverkusen.
Yeah.
And they're in the Champions League next season, so he'll have his Champions League rookie card. But he has stickers, and he also has Czech League, like official Czech League cards, but he has stickers from Panini as well. And I would imagine that when his Bayer Leverkusen rookie comes out in Champions League Sapphire and all that, I'm not sure anyone's going to care about the Czech stickers, but that's an example of a league where that can still happen.
It can still happen. Like I still think there's value in stickers, especially if you're talking vintage. In terms of modern
stickers,
the modern chase, we're not looking for sticker boxes.
Not at this stage, no.
No, like the last of it was the 2019-20 season, really.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
The Camavingas, the Foosball Haalands, the Champions League Haalands, the Mason Greenwood, if he hadn't wilded out. But even he had premium
Gabby
cards.
Martinelli has stickers in 2019-20.
Yeah.
And he also has rookies this year. No one seems to care about the fact he has stickers from 2 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, you need a PSA 10. You're not going to cut it with a raw sticker. But yeah, there's something about the Foosball Haaland that kind of just became a bit iconic.
Yeah.
So he's still strong. Like he's not going to go to zero. Despite having premium cards. But yeah, no, I do. Is it dead?
I think it's probably a less profitable space now.
Yeah, it's been segmented.
Because also I think people are kind of wising up to the fact that like I could buy this sticker, but then unless it's something very dramatic like a Dusan Vlahovic where like it was years ago.
Yeah, that was years ago.
And it's available or like Christopher Nkunku has the 2016-17 Panini foot. Is that 2017? Is that right?
Yeah.
So like
you're questioning all of your.
now I'm paranoid. No, but like I think at that stage. Oh, what was I going to say? I've gotten distracted.
There was years.
There was years where, whereas now I think people, they've wised up and they go, oh, I invest in this sticker. If Topps or Panini wild out and put an RC on a card in 2 years' time, no one's going to care about my stickers.
Yeah. I think there was always a move of getting a sticker grade and then flipping it. That was really good for a really long time.
I think the fact that the companies decided we don't care about stickers. The manufacturer said, we don't care if the stickers, we're putting the RC logo on there. If there was no RC logo, you'd go, I haven't seen this player before. What's his RC? But as soon as you see an RC, you go, oh, yeah.
Kind of, not always.
Not always, but in a lot of cases, a lot of people that aren't us.
Yeah, of course.
It's
easier.
People do out there. Yeah.
It's easier and it's more fun. Like if the only rookie you have is a base sticker.
Yeah. If you pull like a 1 of 5 rookie of Gabby Martinelli, right? From say Panini Score or something, you go like, oh, RC 1 of 5, great. And someone goes, actually, there's a sticker from 2019. You don't go like, oh, is there? Yeah, grand. Well, I'll just collect that instead. Then you go like, fuck off. Look at this card I have.
It's not great. There's purities to it. We see with Kylian Mbappe, like his sticker is the one. I know there's only a 1 year gap between that and his premium stuff. He's in a different kit. So maybe that's also what the Haaland has, the Salzburg Haaland, because although there was a lot of premium product, most of it was in a Dortmund kit.
Yeah.
It's a mixed bag, but yeah, I mean, in general, maybe I don't like saying dead. Dead is so
final,
yeah. But it's down bad.
BW collect or BV Collector 17 commented, 3 years from now, would you rather be holding Mbappe cards or Haaland cards?
3 years from now.
3 years from now, Mbappe's just finishing his 3-year contract. He's either renewing or going somewhere else, and Haaland is presumably still at Man City, but thinking about
just about broke the 100 goals for City.
Yeah, I'm going Mbappe.
Enters the 100 club. I'm a Haaland boy, but I don't know. I feel I need to see him for a year at City, and then I can talk. But
that's what I mean. Like, if you ask me now, I go Mbappe at PSG for the next 3 years. I know what that is. It's lots of goals. It's lots of international tournaments,
and then it's finally the move to Real Madrid at like 26.
Yeah, and it's maybe a Champions League. City, Haaland at City, maybe it's a Champions League, but other than that, what is it?
I'm saying Haaland, and I'll tell you why.
Okay, tell me why.
I think he's going to go crazy when he starts playing for them because he will score goals, right?
Yeah.
And I think he'll just continuously do that at City until he ultimately leaves and goes somewhere else, which could be after 3 years. I don't think he necessarily has a long career at City. I don't think he's going to like England very much, the weather and whatnot. I don't think he's going to vibe with it. And I think he's going to either get snapped up by Bayern Munich or Real Madrid. And I think he'll do it. He'll go there.
Right.
And you know what as well? I just think Haaland has much better personal brand, which matters. Mbappe is more keeping to himself a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit more than Haaland. Haaland seems to put in a lot of work.
But I will say this. If the hobby was to take off in France, I mean, like, Mbappe is now, we saw with the PSG transfer thing, Mbappe is now like an actual almost political figure in France. Like, he's like a cultural figure, I should say, not just a sporting figure.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take that much for him to become like a national legend.
True. But there's so many French legends. Like, he has a long way to go.
I know, true.
But yeah, no, it's a hard question.
It's a hard question. So thanks for that, BV Collector 17. Do you think he's the adult or the kid in that picture?
Adult. But I would say, like, Mbappe's the safer. As you said, you know what you're about to get for the next 3 years. Haaland could have a really difficult time at the start of City, and at which point, where's he going? What's happening?
Yeah. So that was Instagram. Let's move on now to Twitter. This is from Liam at Sports Cards Cymru, who says, this is from the new Bundesliga Stadium Club. Has Conrad Leimer go-karting taken over from Luca Perran mountain biking as the most random stadium club image? Both images are attached to save you searching and to spare us all from sitting through the dead air on the podcast.
We 100% would have been Googling it.
Oh my God.
This is a man that gets it.
This is a listener who has been with us for a long time.
And gets, and he might be a little bit fed up. Might be.
I think this is, I mean, look.
Is this a very polite?
I think we all like Liam. We all, we got us that Pinamondi back in the day and all that stuff. But I think this is a little nudge for us just to say, and by the way, lads,
edit a little bit.
Just or do pre-production. It's one or the other.
Yeah, if you think you don't need to edit, just be ready.
Yeah. Either be ready to run it through or go back and edit it. But don't just kind of half-ass it.
Oh wow.
Anyway, I do like the Conrad Limer picture.
I prefer it.
I prefer it as well.
Do you know why I prefer it?
Why is that?
Because the bike one, I thought like he was going into training or something, so they somehow had that image.
Right.
The go-kart one makes me wonder how the fuck and what the fuck are they doing?
Yes.
Like, are Tops just following these people around?
I see what you're saying.
Like, because the bike
I also thought the bike one was just in and around the Marseille.
That's what I'm saying. But like, was that outside his house in his personal life? Now, did RB Leipzig bring a load of players out for like a go-karting day as part of the club? Did they have the fans involved? And maybe Tops got to get a photo. But what I'm saying is, the bike one I just said, he must have been on a bike at training.
Yeah.
This one tells me Tops are doing something weird.
Yeah. They've said to all the clubs, give us your weirdest pictures.
Maybe. So I get more context out of what's happening with Stadium Club on the one on the left. Because the one on the right, again, I made the assumption. The one on the left, I have a lot of questions. So I definitely prefer it.
I like that one. I heard that RB Leipzig are about to sell him to Bayern Munich.
Okay.
And they're asking for like 30 million, and Bayern are like, no, not that much. And I'm like, why are you negotiating with the Bayern? Like, are you not the only? I thought you were the only team that didn't need to sell to Bayern. And they're like, listen, we have energy drinks, but we're not made of money.
No, but like,
because everyone's saying like they did so well since Tedesco came in the winter.
Yeah, you were saying, lads, this year I think it's going to be Leipzig that are the challengers, not Dortmund.
So don't do another Sabitzer and sell, you know.
Yeah, but Bayern are like, we want to dominate. Fuck you.
I know.
But can I just say, like, when have you ever wanted to collect a Conrad Limer card?
I never have.
But now,
I'd like that one.
That's what I'm saying.
At least if you're opening a box at Bundesliga Stadium Club and you get that card.
You're kind of
the same with the Luca Perrin. Everyone's like, who the fuck's this guy? It doesn't matter. He's on a bike.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
And he was a rookie. That was very cool. Rookie. But no. I again, with Champions League Stadium Club last year, there was like Sterling, I think, was sitting on the ball. Sadio Mane was, you know, so Stadium Club's a fun set, and it's nice to know that the Bundesliga.
Neymar had the Maradona t-shirt on.
Beautiful.
Great.
So, you know, that's exciting. I'm interested to see all the images in Bundesliga.
We're going to be opening some if we get some.
Slick.
Sean White says, if you both had to pick one, this kind of builds on this question.
Oof.
You both had to pick one image from the history of football to be on a Stadium Club card, what would it be? This is a very hard question to do.
Off the top of the head? Without pre-production?
Without pre-production.
I like to think that
even though I obviously saw this because it's on a graphic.
You know.
So I couldn't.
I'll tell you this much. I didn't see it. But you'd have to imagine there's a very dodgy Maradona photo out there somewhere. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Pele has some nuts photos.
Yeah.
Of him wearing mad shit, which I love.
I love that one with Maradona surrounded by people in Napoli. I think he's like coming out of the dressing room. I think it's early in his Napoli career. He's coming out of the dressing room and he's like surrounded by people, and you can kind of see the whole stadium in the background. For me,
do you know what I need?
What's that?
Photos of players holding the World Cup trophy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of iconic images
of the World Cup.
Because when you win the World Cup, every player gets their photo with it. You have to.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of them are kissing it. A lot of them are doing whatever. And when Italy won the World Cup, I think Materazzi or maybe Francesco Totti or Del Piero, someone put like an Italian hat on top of the World Cup trophy. There's just so many great images when a team wins, I guess. I can even take the World Cup out of it and just say when a team wins a trophy. We've seen some of it with Chelsea last year. They won Champions League. They're in products with the trophy this year. I think more of that. That'd be great
set. Or even like a FIFA Stadium Club. That'd be brilliant. For any World Cup, like if that's got the World Cup license.
They have the Euros.
I would say a major tournament Stadium Club, because there's always a few images.
Yeah. That's a really good one.
That's a really good one.
A major tournament stadium club, because there is, whether it's a specific celebration that's iconic, whether it's a moment. Like we've seen some of that with the Van Persie header. I think someone made that into a card.
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong.
But like, you know, stuff like Italia 90, Roger Milla in the corner flag, or like a Robbie Keane front flip or something like that. You know, like there's lots of stuff that'd be really cool.
There's huge, like if you look at the Euros, like when Robbie Brady scored the header, for example. You know,
or even like, you know, the one which is more of a meme than anything, but the Harry Maguire at the Euros, like leaning on the thing. That's a funny one.
But like the player at the World Cup, I think it was the Iran player who did the front flip.
Yeah.
That'd be really fun. Now, how do you capture it perfectly on a...
And how do you get them to approve that?
Yeah. That's true. How do you have No, but like a World Cup more so than any other tournament. Because like the Champions League, there's iconic moments, Champions League, but it's blurry.
Yeah.
The World Cup, everyone stops and watches it. And every kind of little moment like that becomes a real piece of history and an iconic thing. Because every goal scored in the World Cup is a huge fucking thing.
Yeah.
Do you know, exactly. Some countries just score one goal in the World Cup.
To score a goal at a World Cup
is an iconic
like the
moment.
first line of your obituary if you're a footballer. Literally. Yeah.
If you're not one of the tops.
Yeah.
And it's just something that just has so many iconic moments.
Yeah.
I mean, Zidane headbutting, like you're not going to get approval on that, but these moments happen. And so, yeah, no, that players holding the World Cup trophy, but then, yeah, that ties into just a World Cup or a major tournament stadium club. But I think World Cup needs to be the one because even the Euros are great, but it's not the same level.
Yeah.
There you go.
Agreed.
Or Maradona with a line of Coke.
Yeah, or Maradona with a line of Coke. Either one.
That'd be great. Whichever ones you can approve.
We kind of already touched on this. This is from Alex Kent.
Hey.
Alex said, how many goals will Alvarez score together? How many assists will KDB have? And will Alvarez and Haaland personalities work together? We don't really know much about Julian Alvarez's personality. Well, I don't know because he plays in Argentina, so we don't hear about it that much.
You like to think he's tenacious.
Yeah.
Just to throw a stereotype on him.
But if we know kind of players from Argentina, they tend to be hardworking, very family-oriented.
I don't think they're going to have a personality clash.
I don't think so either.
Now, they might have a competitiveness that could turn into a clash just because they're both, as we're saying, we're talking Alvarez, we're not just talking Haaland.
Yeah.
Is that a problem for Haaland? Is it a problem for Alvarez? You know, they're both essentially, they're in competition with each other to a degree.
Yeah.
Unless he can fit them in together, which he could do. I'd imagine Alvarez could potentially be on the wing, which wouldn't be ideal for him, but
he can do that.
Could happen. How many goals would they score together? I think a lot, but I don't necessarily think it'll happen while they're both on the same pitch at the same time.
I mean, one interesting thing is to think that, like, from Julian Alvarez, from our point of view, we have a kind of a tendency, because we know Erling Haaland so well, to look at him and say, he's the main one.
Yeah.
And it's up to Alvarez to justify why he's here.
Yes.
But from Julian Alvarez's point of view, he's like, you realize I'm like River Plate's best player. He's like River Plate, like one of the biggest clubs in South America.
Yeah.
I'm a continental champion. I'm a national champion. I play with Leo Messi I'm going to the World Cup, you know, all that stuff. He's like, Erling Haaland, you mean the guy from Red Bull Salzburg and Borussia Dortmund?
Yeah, relax.
Why would I care about that? He's not intimidated. We're all like, is Alvarez going to be able to handle it? He's like, this is nothing. I play against Boca all the time. Yeah, it's crazy.
Haaland's going to struggle.
Yeah, Haaland's going to struggle.
I can picture.
It's so funny when you think of like English pundits next season going like, Julian Alvarez, new to the Premier League, will he be able to handle the fire and tenacity of the Manchester derby? It's like, I think he'd probably be all right.
I think he's going to be fine. I have a feeling.
Bottles thrown at you.
I think Jesse Lingard, I know Jesse hasn't got up there anymore, but I think the likes of him, I think he'll be running rings around McTominay.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be too punched.
I don't think Harry Maguire is going to really hassle him too much.
Oh my God, would he be good for the physicality? It's like, have you ever seen Argentine football? It's crazy.
You know, he's going to be fine. I think KDB, how many assists we have, that's a great question because I think both of these players are the kind of players that fucking eat up the kind of balls that Kevin De Bruyne puts in.
Yeah.
So to be honest, we could be looking at him as player of the year next year just based on...
Think of how many assists he gets and how many magic moments he has with who he has in front of him now, which is no striker.
Yeah.
So
I think, again, as I said, with the Haaland Alvarez thing, the biggest thing is Pep finding a way to use them. I do genuinely in my soul think that Pep Guardiola didn't twist the arms of people above him saying, get me Haaland. I think they said, we're getting Haaland.
Yeah, figure it out.
And that's the biggest, because I think he could be, as a manager, you know, he could have enough self-respect to kind of say, there's another player that this happened with, I can't remember who, but the manager was just like, I didn't fucking ask for this player.
Yeah.
So I'm not playing him.
Yeah, you didn't.
Like, there could be a huge problem with Haaland next year. Like, he could be like, yeah, he's great. Like, he's a fantastic player, but I don't give a fuck.
There's a little bit of that with Lukaku and Tuchel. Where you wonder, did Chelsea just see that he was there?
No, but like if Pep Guardiola wants to stay at City for many more years to come, then he has to put his foot down.
Yeah.
He can't be like, and here's Haaland starting every week.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the people above are like, this could be the quote unquote end of Pep Guardiola. Like there could be huge drama.
Yeah.
That could occur. So Haaland, Alvarez, both of them, it's super, super, super interesting to see. There is one thing we say about City is they're going to play so many games next year that they definitely can use both of them.
Yes.
But not necessarily together.
True. They played maybe 60 or 65 games this season, so it's crazy. And of course, the hashtag Alvarez belongs to us. So you can use it, but you have to credit us.
Yeah.
Eric Jazz says, what do you think about Malik Tillman deciding to play for the US national team? I thought that basically less about Malik Tillman in particular and more about just the US in general.
Mm-hmm.
I think we are going to see from this year onwards an explosion in the American talent pool. We've already seen one, but even more so. I don't think it's easy for us to comprehend. We look at like the UK has 65 million people, Germany has 80 million people, France 70 million. Like, we don't realize how big the US is.
Mm-hmm.
And once they turn it on, it's over for us.
So, like, we're going to see the United States win a World Cup in our lifetime.
Yeah, I think so.
Win a World Cup.
Yeah, I agree.
In our lifetime, we're going to see it.
Because how can it not?
No, look at them at the Olympics.
Yeah.
In every fucking...
What somehow they're incapable of playing football? No,
they're capable.
They haven't tried.
They're capable, and it's continually growing. And like, that's the thing, is you don't need it growing. You just need more Americans to decide to play the game at a young age.
Yeah,
and then you're going to get superstars.
Yes, agreed. So whether it be Malik Tillman or not, someone is going to lead them to a World Cup at some point.
Yeah,
that's up for grabs.
So it's going to happen.
Yeah,
not too soon.
This is YouTube. Look at this.
Oh, I see what you did there with the little...
You can leave YouTube comments on these videos, and then we can talk about them on the videos. It's like a self...
That's strange.
Yeah. So this is just a compliment for us.
It's not a question.
It's not a question.
Oh.
This is from LVW Cards on YouTube, and he says, "You know what, fellas? I've just only come across you guys because of YouTube, and I think you chaps are brilliant. More actual chat rather than rubbish."
Oh, that's nice.
So it's a compliment for us and a little elbow to the other content creators out there talking rubbish.
But see, when I had some actual chat at the start of the show.
Moving on.
Oh, you're saying I did rubbish today.
Cut it off.
Shut the fuck up.
No, I don't know. The problem is...
See, what's chat?
What's actual chat and what's rubbish?
I think actual chat is a mix between genuine football talk.
Yeah.
Is also like what me talking about VCon. That's actual chat.
That's actual
Whereas rubbish is someone coming up and being like, Alvarez scored 32 goals for River Plate, and therefore... shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Okay.
I also I think I smacked the table. Sorry for the verbals on that. The sound waves.
Right.
But I don't know what that means.
You think rubbish could be like fakery, inauthentic content?
Yeah, maybe. People could be like, Alvarez scored 6 goals. Yeah. Is he better than Leo Messi?
Yeah.
Maybe he is.
Yes. I'm with you now.
I think other contents do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't watch them, but I'd like to imagine that's what they do.
Mm.
Jizzing over 6 goals, I think, for clicks.
Yeah.
We could do that.
Jizzing for clicks.
We could do that.
There's an idea. Now, this is from Scott Green, because you talked about Steve Aoki wanting to
cryogenically
freeze himself. And Scott Green said...
No, that's the first time I've heard his name.
He's just a YouTube guy.
Okay, I was going to say, all right.
Scott says, check out the Frozen Dead Guy Festival in Colorado. Maybe this is either actual chat or rubbish. This next thing I'm about to say. Check out the Frozen Dead Guy Festival in Colorado. Some guy built his own cryogenic chamber out of dry ice. Now, 30 years later, the city nearby owns it and has built him a real chamber, and they celebrate the mess out of it.
Huh?
So this is in a town
dry ice
in Colorado.
Yeah.
And I skimmed. I'm going to tell you what I remember from the Wikipedia article that I skimmed. Basically, some Norwegian guy was moving over to Colorado back years ago. And he brought the dead body of his grandfather, cooled with dry ice, which is like, I don't know how you make dry ice, but dry ice. And then we got it over there. He kept it in the dry ice. And then he and his mother, who was there, so it was his mother's father and him, right? And so they built
it was his grandfather.
His grandfather.
Okay.
Maybe he brought him along for the mother to see or something. I'm not sure what happened. I don't know why the mother was there. That wasn't mentioned. So you have these Norwegians, one of them's dead, in Colorado, and the mother and the son make a homemade cryogenic chamber.
Why?
Right?
Why?
to preserve the body of the grandfather. Maybe he always wanted to go back to Norway or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Apparently, it's important that this guy is kind of kept on ice because he might need him for something. He's not allowed to decompose. So, then the guy got his visa ran out, and he got deported, leaving his mother and his cryogenically frozen grandfather in the town.
Okay.
And basically trying to keep this building and maintaining this cryogenic chamber bankrupted the family to the point where the woman had her water and electricity cut off.
Jesus.
And a journalist came to see her because obviously it was kind of famous that they have a dead guy up at that house. And a journalist came to see her and said, what's going on? She said, I've been evicted. And he said, that's terrible. And she said, the worst part is my dad's about to thaw out.
Jesus.
So then the journalist said, well, that can't have that. He went to City Hall.
People were just not letting this man decompose.
No, even the journalist was like, there's an unspoken rule that we don't understand, that this man cannot be allowed to thaw out. So he went to City Hall and said, this is terrible. And the city said, okay, we will take responsibility. And they passed like a law to say that if somebody's on ice in these city limits and they're about to thaw and the person can't support them anymore, we will maintain their cryogenic chamber. And then they put them in the Tough Shed Cryogenic Mausoleum. Tough Shed is a brand of sheds that sponsored it.
This is nuts.
And now every year they have a festival.
Why is there 9 slots in that? Is there 9 people in there?
Oh, there could be. I think it's probably just made to look like a morgue. Because there's also kind of 2 doors going on that you can see.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so now he's in the Tough Shed Cryogenic Mausoleum. And they have a festival every year in that town where they all like dress up as like skeletons and like jump in frozen lakes. And it's crazy.
Jesus.
So I appreciate Scott bringing that to our attention.
I don't know if I do.
It was so weird.
I appreciate the fear. Like, I don't want to be cryogenically frozen if Steve Aoki is being cryogenically frozen.
Because you hate the idea that you would wake up and the only person that remembers the world you inhabited is Steve Aoki.
And the only person I recognize is Steve Aoki.
Yeah, that's a horror movie idea right there. And so you can check out the Frozen Dead Guy Festival in Colorado. Search that and you'll find it. There's not that many of them. So
Jesus.
This concludes our questions.
Do you think Scott is from Colorado?
I think he is. I
don't think you hear that.
No, you don't hear that by the by.
There you go.
That's your cousin lives in that town and told you.
That's your half Norwegian. Was there an E at the end of that green?
So I'll stop doing that. Now, I don't know what the...
Yeah, you might have seen all that. You might have seen just us.
Just looking at it.
We don't know.
At a screen for half an hour.
We don't know, and we're not going to fix it if it's wrong.
I don't know how I would.
No.
So this concludes Postcards United for episode 88 of Cards United.
First in-person video podcast of Postcards United?
Yep.
Damn.
Next week, we're all Zoom.
You're off to Prague.
I'm going to Prague.
Must be nice.
If we have any listeners in Prague.
There's no lady that was on a flight with in Prague that didn't know an Irish accent.
Right. Do you think she'd know I was Irish?
Yeah, and that upsets me.
But that's the brand. That's how it works.
You're saying next year I have to bring you to VCon and then everyone will know we're Irish.
Yes. They go, oh, you're Irish. I go, yeah, Enzo is too.
I reckon Jake could get you a ticket if he diamond hands his 5.
I have to check my calendar.
The rumors are it's in St. Louis.
St. Louis. Now, I would like to go to St. Louis.
No, but you'd have to go to the festival. You'd have to go to every day of the event for the full day.
I heard they have great barbecue in St. Louis.
I'm sure they do.
I wouldn't have to go to every...
You do. Oh. No. I'm not going to like... This is like Freshers Week in college. I'm not going to have it like that. I'm not going to have loads of festivities happening. You're going, yeah, but I'll just be out here in the coffee shop.
But it's in St. Louis. I never saw the city before.
That's one of the reasons Minnesota was good. No one wanted to see the city.
Right. I'd be too curious.
I liked Minnesota. I got used to it. It was nice.
I got used to it. They come around to it.
I was scared at the start.
That should be the new slogan for Minneapolis. Minneapolis, you get used to it. You come around to it.
Yeah, you'll come back.
Come to the state of Minnesota.
Where? Yeah, fair. Is that old lady?
Yeah, was it her?
Yeah, that old lady on the plane back said her favorite city is Minneapolis.
Right. How many cities has she been to?
No, I don't know. But then I started telling myself, I have to question this person on the side, you know?
Yeah.
She's a loose cannon. She's a loose cannon.
Do you see anything about Prince?
Yeah.
So cool.
Prince, it was his city. I posted on on IG a mural. Do you want to see?
Yeah, show me. Yeah.
You haven't fucking seen my Instagram.
Sorry, I didn't
you're not up to
scroll
date.
through your Instagram.
You're not up to date on Instagram, no? Let me pull it up. This my beautiful Prince mural, because you clearly didn't respect it.
Oh,
There you have it.
very cool.
And there the people have it.
Look at that.
You can't really see it, but it's there.
You can see it. You can see it.
So that was cool.
Camera focused on it.
There was also a yoke in the airport, like a
kind of tribute to Prince.
Yeah, I didn't walk in there. I was like, I'm not buying.
Great.
I'm buying all that. People like my wristband story from
Very
last
good.
week.
Very good.
That was fun.
People couldn't get over it.
I got a Mr. Beast burger.
We talked about that.
Oh, there's a photo.
There's a photo. Show the people.
Here's Mr. Beast. He has great packaging. Something we could learn.
It says Mr. Beast on it.
Yeah, you can't really say it. Sorry, gang. We're not up today.
So that's the show.
That's the show.
We'll see everybody on Monday for episode 89.
I'm reminiscing.
Enzo's lost in his own image.
I'm like remembering the cult.
It's gonna be your show in there.